Hey guys, I've got our kind of like last resource haul of the beginning of the school year here for you today. My name's Chantel and I blog over at Intentional Homeschooling, and I've shared a lot of resource hauls here recently. With the new school year coming up, I kind of like to always gather a bunch of new resources for the year, just kind of spice things up. And yeah, so I've been sharing a number of those over the last few weeks, and this is kind of like the last big one, for the next little while, hopefully. School officially starts here usually the beginning of September. This year they did push it back a week so they could get some, pandemic rules in place or whatever. So they're starting September 8th here. That doesn't really affect us because we kind of homeschool, unschool all year round anyway. Like, we do more as the weather gets colder kind of, but we still kind of follow the school year. There's still kind of like a start of the school year because we have to send in our goals and everything. But enough with that. Let's just get into some of these fun resources. So I have a couple of games, a couple of picture books, and then the most of them are just middle grade novels. So let's start out with a fun game. This is Cat Crimes. I got this one for my daughter. There's also Dog Crimes, but there are 6 different cats and a bunch of cards that kind of, you have to use deductive reasoning to figure out who committed the crime. So there's a couple of different crimes, like someone ate the bird out of the bird cage, someone knocked over the pot, someone wrecked the shoes, kind of thing. And it'll say this cat was sitting beside the paw print, and it comes with a little board and it shows you kind of where they're all sitting, and then you have to figure out who done it. And I really enjoy this. I always really liked deductive reasoning as a kid, and yeah, my daughter is going into grade 5 this year, and this was a lot of fun. Another game I got at the same time that was actually a bigger hit, and I knew this would be for my son, but I was surprised my daughter loved it so much, and that is Gravity Maze. So both of these games are by Think Fun. We own quite a few of their games. This one is kind of similar to Circuit Maze in some ways. We also own that one, and my son has played that one a lot. So in it here, you have different challenge cards, and you have to set up the board in a certain way, and then you get some extra towers you have to put on. And then you have to figure out where the towers go in order for the marble to go from the start to the finish. And my son, he likes, knowing how things work. He's always staring at things, wondering how they work. And so this game is so good for him. Yeah, I cannot believe how much use this game got, just even in the first few days that we've had it. So I'm pretty much out of the stage where I'm buying picture books, but there are a few that I really enjoy that I would like to own if I can find them for a really good deal. So one of them was Cartman. This is a picture book that we follow a family through the seasons, through an entire year, and we see, kind of them starting at the fall, I believe it starts, and they're gathering their harvest in, and then they go and they sell stuff at the market, but then they spend all winter, they knit and do all these things, they plant their garden, and then they start it all over again. And I really enjoy this picture book. And one of my preferences for picture books is that they don't have too many words per page, and I feel like this one does that. I really like it when picture books can tell you a really good story without too many words. This is a classic that I found that I needed to own. I can't believe we don't own it. Where the Wild Things Are. This is such a fun, imaginative story, and I think everyone's read it before, but it was about time we finally owned this one. Okay, now there are just a variety of chapter books, kind of ranging from elementary up to middle grade. So we'll just take them one at a time here. This one is Pyramid of Secrets. This is part of the My Story. My cat is trying to get out the door. My Story series, I guess. We actually found a few of these, I think 3 or 4 of these books in a little free library a few months ago. And so I was excited to find one at the thrift store that we didn't already own. Then I think I shared this book in one of my other hauls. No, I shared the first book. So this is The War I Finally Won. The first book is The War That Saved My Life, which my family is currently just barely started listening to. I've read it before, but in the first one we follow a girl and her brother who are relocated during World War II, and it actually ends up being really good for them. It's an interesting take on war, when you usually think like it's the devastation and the bad things, but there was actually some people that benefited from it. So this kind of follows that story. Then a few of these we got because we want to do two different things. We want to do book scavenger and hide books around our town and then leave clues for friends of ours to find. And then we also want, or actually right now, my husband is making, and my son, they're making a little free library. So if you're hearing like sawing and things going on in the background, that's actually what they're doing right now. So we got George's Marvelous Medicine, which is one of my son's favorite books. So that will either be used for one of those. Same with Dinosaurs Before Dark. This is a Magic Treehouse book that we already own and the kids have read multiple times, but this will be for one of those things. Okay, these next few books. This is a Nancy Drew Girl Detective series. There are so many different Nancy Drew series. I don't really know anything about this. My cousin actually, she was watching on my booktube channel. I did a tour of our bookshelves and she saw our Nancy Drew books, and her daughter is in university now and has outgrown these books. So she asked if we wanted them. So she gave us 24 of them. So we have 24 books in the series. And it says it's for ages 8 to 12, so I think my daughter might be interested in these right away. Then we got book 5 in the Warriors series. This is a Vision of Shadows series. Erin Hunter is so prolific in her writing. She's got so many different warriors, and I don't even know the other series names, but yeah, my daughter has listened to the first 2 and really enjoyed them. So when we found this at the thrift store, we just grabbed it. These next 2 are part of a series, Absolutely Truly and Yours Truly. They are part of the Pumpkin Falls mystery series. I think there's these 2 books plus one more. I had read the back before buying these and they sounded really good, and I love it when I can get, like, if it's a series, if I can get more than one book in a series, because that way if we start it and we really like it, we can jump right into book 2 right away. Then, speaking of a series, this is Bite-Sized Magic. This is book 3 in the Bliss series. This follows a family where they have a magic bakery, and my daughter has read book 1 and possibly book 2 of this and really wanted me to order book 3, which is the last one that's currently out, and so we got this one. She really enjoyed book 1, and I can't remember if she's read book 2 or not yet. And then I found Black Star Bright Dawn. I've never heard of this one, but this is by Scott Odell, and my daughter really loves the Island of the Blue Dolphins, and so I was like, well, I don't know anything about it, but we'll try it. It's like super short, very skinny book, only has 100 pages, so we'll try this one. It looks like another survival kind of book. Oh, and then we got Old Yeller in like this terrible cover. Like, it's pretty tacky. But I owned the Old Yeller movie growing up, and I have never read the book. This was written in 1956, so I would really like to read the book. And even if it's got like a nasty, tacky cover, it still works. Okay, another survival book. This is Hatchet. I feel like everyone read this as a kid, but I never did. So this is about a boy whose plane goes down in the Canadian wilderness, and yeah, he needs to figure out how to survive. We actually just finished listening to this book on audio yesterday, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, the first half of the book, I would probably only give 2.5 stars. I know lots of people like it, so I think that would be an unpopular opinion. But the last half of the book, I would like bump up to 4 stars. So yeah, I like have conflicting thoughts on this. I really like the idea of the story. I just felt like it was awkwardly written, especially the first bit. Yeah, but I know I'm in the minority in that opinion. Oh, then I found another Dear Canada book. Like, I'm always collecting these. This is probably like our 8th book in the series, and this is a Saskatchewan one, which is where we live. So it's a prairie as wide as the sea. That seems fitting. Yeah, I just think these are such a great way for kids to learn history. Then I found Father Christmas and Me. This is book 3, I believe, in the series. So the first one is A Boy Called Christmas, and then The Girl Who Saved Christmas, or the other way around. And we have both of those already. So then when I saw this one, I knew I wanted this. I honestly don't know anything about it, except that a lot of people read A Boy Called Christmas like last December and really raved about it. So obviously I trusted their opinions enough to buy 3 of the books and still haven't read any of them. Obviously kind of like waiting for Christmas season to try reading those. And this is a World War II history book, I think, or like story. How I Became a Spy. Yeah, so this is like middle grade. I'm pretty sure it's, oh yes, it is a World War II adventure. So I think this one will be good. We read something else by Deborah Hopkinson, and I don't remember what it was, but I've heard really good things about her writing, so I'm interested in this one. Oh, and then we got The Jaguar's Jewel. This is an A to Z mystery book. This used to be a library copy somewhere, and it's like not in very good condition. But my son loves the A to Z mysteries. He listens to quite a few of these on audio. So I've never seen them at the thrift store before, so I grabbed this one. Then we have Ink Death. This is actually, I actually got it in hardcover. We had it in softcover, but I'm kind of wanting the series in hardcover because I just do. So then this one will either go in our little free library or we will hide this one for Book Scavenger. Okay, and then I think the rest of these are for the little free library. We have Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. This is like a really old cover. This looks like something from my childhood. This cover is from 84. So yeah, pretty close. Yeah, my kids really like this on audio. I actually don't think that we even have this copy, so maybe we'll keep this one. Then I found the Bailey School kits. Cupid does eat chocolate covered snails. The reason this stood out to me is actually for my son, because this is a junior chapter book and the writing is huge. This looks like it would be good for his level, and I don't know, it looks kind of silly, and that would be totally up his alley. And then the last ones are all this Nancy Drew, I don't know which series this is. We've got The Suspect in Smoke, Enemy Match, what is this one called? The Treasure in the Royal Tower, and The Mystery of the Missing Millionaires. I think my daughter wanted to read these herself. So we are just like oozing Nancy Drew books right now, which sounds kind of disgusting. Yeah, okay. So that is all for this resource haul. Like I said, we should have less coming up in the next while, and I think what I'm going to start doing is maybe monthly or bi-monthly or every 3 months or something. I'm going to share a video sharing like what are our current favorite homeschool resources now that we've like got all these new ones and we have all these old ones. Just share like what's working well for us and the things that we're kind of always gravitating to. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if there's anything that jumped out at you, if there's anything that, like any of these books that you've read and you really liked, or the games. Thanks for watching, guys.